Welcome to the Sci-Fi Queens podcast where we celebrate all things sci-fi. If you are new to our channel, we ask that you hit that subscribe and notification bell. We would really appreciate it as it will help our channel be supported and you will be able to know when our next shows come up. So also check out our website that's scrolling at the bottom of the screen, sci-fiqueens.net. You will find information on the shows, the queens, and our merch store as well. I am your host, Nita, and with me tonight are my co-hosts, Sarah and Tiffany. Yes,
We are
and
back.
we are back.
Yes, we're back.
Yes. How are you doing, Tiffany? What's going on, Queen of the Nerds?
I'm good. Everything's good today because after this, I'm going to get ice cream. So the day is looking up.
What? Have a scoop for me.
The
I
day
love
is looking
ice
up.
cream.
Yeah, it's really nice here. It's really nice here today.
That's good.
Excellent. And Sarah, Queen of Darkness, how are you doing?
I'm doing
It
okay.
sounds like I should say that British. I don't know why.
You're so funny. I'm okay. I'm a little stressed because it was right to the wire to get here, but I'm here.
It was. You
So
made it.
Yes, I'm so
and the play
excited.
was wonderful, so everything was good.
Oh, that's so awesome. I'm so glad.
Yes.
So guys, we took a little bit of a break. We needed it. I sure did. And we are just here excited to start talking about female astronauts, the ones on TV, the ones in movies, and real life astronauts. Yes,
Mhm.
that is what we're going to be talking about tonight. Okay. But before we can start talking about that, we need to start talking about the one person that changed the face of astronauts. Okay. The person who influenced women of color and people of color in general to be able to have this special, very special opportunity to go to space. And that is the beautiful, the one, the only Nichelle Nichols. Okay. She founded back in the 70s Women in Motion, a foundation that opened doors for women of color to be able to be a part of the space program. And that is something that without her, women in general wouldn't have this opportunity, especially not women of color.
Right.
Mhm.
Sure. And we can't talk about astronauts without talking about the woman who put us in space. She put women and women of color in space because before her, how many women had any authority in space or were even in space? How
Mhm.
many women of color we saw that were in space? We didn't. That's the bottom
No.
line. And I am so glad that we are able to have her pioneer this because she was a part of something that was great and important and that mattered. And this is huge. This is definitely huge for women in general.
Mhm.
Um, Absolutely. But Tiffany has a little something for us. I don't know if you want me to start with your slides or do you want to say something before we start with slides or what are we doing tonight, Tiff?
You can start with the slides.
We can start with the slides. Okay.
Mhm.
Let's start with the slides. Okay. Talk to me about these slides. What's going on here?
All right, so I'll read my little notes that I have first. So there's a moment in every astronaut remembers. The countdown stops, the engines ignite, and for a terrifying, exhilarating second, the entire world falls away as they're pushed at 17,000 miles an hour towards the stars. Now close your eyes and imagine, who do you see in the capsule? If you grew up watching movies in the 1950s, you probably are imagining a man. Strong jaw, crew
Mhm.
cut, probably named Buzz or Jim or something like
They were
that.
all named Bud.
Some all
Weren't
American
they?
like that, you know.
Yeah.
But
Absolutely.
because for decades that's all that Hollywood showed us: the brave male astronaut, the heroic test pilot, the rugged explorer. But here's what they didn't show you. In 1963, 26-year-old Soviet woman named Valentina Tereshkova climbed into a spacecraft called the Volsec 6 and became the first woman in
Mhm.
space. She orbited Earth
Mhm.
48 times, over nearly 3 days. She's 89 years
Wow.
old now, and she is a Russian engineer, politician, and cosmonaut. 20 years later, Sally Ride strapped into the Space Shuttle Challenger and became the first American woman in space. When reporters asked her if she cried when things went wrong, she said, "Why don't you ask the guys that question?"
Good for her.
You know? She was like, "What?
Good for her.
Excuse
Yes.
me?"
Yes. And what if she had cried? What if the men had cried?
What
That's
if
just the
everybody was in there
reaction.
bawling their eyes out?
Yes.
And then all the
That's
tears are
just the
just floating around
reaction.
everywhere.
Right?
I want to
Every,
see that.
everybody crying. Everybody, and
Absolutely.
she's like, "Guys, don't cry. It's gonna be okay."
Mm-hmm.
So, in 1992, Dr. Mae Jemison, a physician, engineer, and Peace Corps volunteer, became the first Black woman in space. She took a poster from the television show Star Trek with her because Nichelle
Yes.
Nichols, who played Lieutenant Uhura, had inspired her to dream. And
Hello.
notably, you just said, yeah, the
Yes.
inspiration. You just said, I know. When you were saying, I was like, I have a thing.
I have a thing. Don't steal my thunder.
Right. I was like, I have a
Oh my
thing.
goodness.
And so, most and notably, Dr. Peggy Whitson, who holds the record for the most consecutive time in orbit by an American astronaut and any woman worldwide, with 675 days in space. She also performed 10 career spacewalks, totaling over 60 hours in open space. She was the first female commander of the International Space Station. Because girls be doing it. We be doing it.
Yes.
Yes.
These women were real. They trained, they flew, they risked everything because it's so dangerous, guys. That's
Yes.
like,
Yeah.
I'm not
Absolutely.
going. I'm not going. But for most of history, you wouldn't have seen
I'll
them
be
on screen.
honest. I'll be honest.
What?
As someone said to me, we would train you to go out of space. Will you do it? I would do it. I would immediately say
Could you
yes.
imagine us training like the guys from Armageddon?
Oh God.
I could just see us training like that.
I mean, we
No, we gotta
sci-fi
learn how to be
queens.
astronauts.
I think NASA should call us up and be like, "Sci-Fi Queens, you need to be in space."
Mm-hmm.
I'm down with it. Tiffany, you gotta come. You
To
gotta come,
space.
Tiffany.
You know,
Yes.
I'm more of a like
Down to earth
TV,
girl.
down to earth, touch the grass kind of girl. Whenever I look up in space, I'm like, it's cute. It's cute. It's real cute.
Oh,
Um,
you just playing us like that, leaving us abandoned in
Somebody got to be
space.
at the command center. If you
Oh,
call Houston, I'm gonna be like, I hear you.
Hello.
I mean, like,
coming in,
no, she's
coming
sleep.
in
They'll be
loud
like,
and
she's
clear.
asleep right now. She's asleep right now, taking a nap somewhere. Do
Okay,
you want me
so
Oh,
to continue?
okay, no, yeah, you can go ahead. So for most of history, you wouldn't have seen them on your screen. Instead, Hollywood gave us a sexy astronaut who needed rescuing, the mission commander who stayed home while the men flew. That would be me. The brilliant scientist who handed her discoveries to a male hero until something changed. Today, we're talking about female astronauts, both the real ones who left Earth and the fictional ones who
Mm-hmm.
changed how we imagined who gets to go. So first
Yes.
up, of course, we have Ellen Ripley. I'm going to talk about fictional astronauts. Okay. So first
Yes.
up, Ripley from Alien, 1979. So the setup. This is a commercial toy. For anybody not familiar, I'm going to give just a little tiny rundown of the movies and the TV shows. So the commercial towing vessel Nostromo is on its way back to Earth when it picks up a mysterious signal from a small uncharted moon. The crew is contractually obligated to investigate. They find it is a derelict alien ship, a field of what they find is a derelict alien ship, a field of mysterious eggs, and something that doesn't want to be discovered. She's the first female action hero who wasn't sexualized or a damsel. She's
Yes.
terrified, yes, competent, and relentless. She did not ask to be the hero, but she did refuse to die. She was like, not today. Not today. So, fun
Not
fact,
today.
right. Fun fact, Ripley was written without a specific gender in mind. He just, they just wrote it. And then when she auditioned Sigourney Weaver, they said it couldn't have gone to anyone else. And so she made the role iconic. So originally it could have been a man. Could you imagine?
That's interesting. I didn't know that. Hmm.
Well, and did you know, this is a side note, I'm going to take you on a sidebar. Did you know that Alien was actually supposed to be a comedy? It was supposed to be like Space Truckers, and it was supposed to be a comedy,
What?
and then it went a different way.
Oh
And yeah, it
yeah.
was
That
it
definitely
was
did go a
originally
different
wrote
way.
it. That's why the male crew are like 70s truckers because that's what they are.
Mm,
And that's how the characters were written because it was supposed to be like space truckers hauling junk and, doing their thing. And then they went a different way into the sci-fi and kind of horror, I guess, kind of.
yeah.
But it was just
Yeah.
it's just an interesting sidebar. I'm sorry to interrupt, Tiffany.
No, no, no. You're good. Yeah,
No, that's an
definitely.
excellent
We need
sidebar.
those little tidbits. We need a side quest. We need it. I knew you're gonna have something that I didn't have though, because you are alien girl. Um,
Hmm.
but you can go to the next slide.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, that's my next one. Oh, yes. Contact, Dr. Ellie Arroway. So, Contact
Yes.
is a
Hmm.
1997 film. In it, Dr. Arroway is a scientist who has spent her career listening to the stars, watching for any signal that isn't random noise. And then one day she finds it, a transmission from the Vega system, 26 light years away. It contains engineering schematics for something that looks like a machine. First of all, if I got some schematics from outer space, am I building
Just
this
gonna
machine?
question it.
Am I am
Yeah.
I am I just building? It's like the aliens are like, I'm gonna send you a signal because we need y'all to get this built for us when we get there. We're gonna need
It
this when
makes
we
sense.
invade.
It makes sense. It makes perfect sense
We're
to
gonna
me.
need this. We're gonna need this when we invade.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
I think so. I think it makes perfect sense. I think that if I got some schematics from aliens from outer space, I would totally build it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
A
Mm-hmm.
100%, no questions asked. I'm gonna build it. Let's see what happens. No, we don't. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. Okay, we're not doing that. We're
No.
not doing that.
Hold on, guys. I'm trying.
I do think that our curiosity would take some people to
To
build
do that.
things to
Yeah.
do that. Yeah,
But
I
it,
think
it could
human
have very well
curiosity.
been it could have been the machine that it was, or it could have been a terraforming machine. I mean, it could have been a bomb. It could have
Mm-hmm.
been anything. And I think that's the point Tiffany's making is that, we
Hmm.
blindly accept
Oh yeah,
and just, oh, okay, they sent us these schematics. They must want us to build something to communicate with them. Meanwhile,
could
it
you
could be
imagine
something.
if we get schematics from outer space and it's just them trying to get us to build a bomb to kill ourselves? I
They're
think
like,
there's
we're
a
gonna.
Eh,
little humor in that.
look look at the rats building the trap.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, guys,
Mm-mm.
sorry, I'm trying to. Okay, sorry, I had a situation going on here. Okay. So yeah, but so Dr. Arroway, she went to Vega because no one believed her, but she didn't care. She wanted to see what was on the other end of the signal. Jodie Foster spent months consulting with real astronomers, including Jill Tarter, the real life inspiration for the character. So she went deep. She was like, if I'm gonna be an astronaut scientist, I'm gonna be an astronaut scientist. And this was in
Yes.
1997. I think that for this film, there wasn't like the next one I'm gonna talk about. They're totally opposite. This one wasn't like a bunch of like action. It
Mhm.
was more about science. It was more about
Yes.
Yes.
scientific discovery.
It was a very cerebral movie. I'll
Exactly,
tell you that.
exactly. You gotta you.
It made you
It's not.
think.
There's not a lot of action. There's a lot of is she right? Is she wrong? There's a lot of her
There's that
bureaucracy.
whole mystery
Yeah,
behind
yeah,
what if. And I
yeah,
think that that's the scariest thing, right?
yeah,
Because you know something scary is out there, something scary is happening, but you don't know what the
yeah,
scary is.
yeah,
That makes it scarier. It
yeah.
really
I
does.
I agree, but it's just it leaves you wondering. It leaves you wondering, but this is more of a science-based space film, unlike our next one, which you can go to. Now, this one leaves you in a little bit of suspense. Okay, this is Gravity 2013, and we're going to talk about
This was interesting.
Dr.
Yes.
Ryan Stone. Right. So, Ryan Stone is a medical engineer on her first space shuttle mission. During a routine spacewalk, debris from a destroyed satellite hurtles towards them, obliterating the shuttle and stranding her and a veteran astronaut in the vast emptiness of orbit. Okay, the vibe for this one is it's like a visceral, nearly real-time survival thriller. Like you feel the camera rarely cuts, making you feel like you're floating like right beside her. They're like in open space, huddling from one piece of debris to the next, trying to stay alive. It's more about psychological endurance as it is like spacesuits and tethers. Like it's insane. Sandra Bullock spent hours in a harness rig to simulate zero gravity. She called it the hardest role of her career. Wow. Because Sister Girl was trying to be an astronaut. But yeah, this movie is, I think it's like, you know how like I don't want to like compare it to another movie because it's really good on its own. It can stand on its own.
Yes, it is.
But it has a different kind of vibe. Like I said, it's like a thriller. You don't know what's gonna happen because after what happens in the beginning, you really thrown off. Like, oh, okay.
Yep. And the fact that she's not technically an astronaut so much as they're medically,
she's just there.
Like, yeah, it makes it feel like real because what people don't understand that when they send the people out to the International Space Station and to outer space, there are different professionals going on there.
Right.
Not everybody is from the beginning a trained astronaut with a military background or anything like that. Some of these people have other professions,
doctors and things like that, right? Who are
researchers,
trained, of course, to be in outer space. But
there's a difference between being an astronaut and being trained to be in outer space. That training, that's a whole different kind of level of training.
Let me tell you something. If they train me to be in outer space and I put on that spacesuit,
I'm an astronaut. That's right. We'll be the Sci-Fi Queen astronauts.
If I even enter the outer atmosphere, I better be coming down with some medals pinned to my chest. I'm an astronaut.
You're gonna go on a jet tube.
I better be coming down. They're gonna be like, wow, she faced the vastness of space. She's an astronaut. But yeah, definitely. But I love this movie.
Absolutely.
If you have not seen it,
it's good.
It's a good watch. It's a good watch. You
should
watch this one, and then you should watch Interstellar. Those are the best space movies. It's just space movies. Beautiful. Okay, so you can go to the next one. Okay, so this one I'm gonna get into deep. Okay, this show is so freaking good. Okay, this is For All Mankind on Apple TV. So For All Mankind has several female astronauts portrayed in the show, and I enjoy each and every one of their story arcs. So in this show, it's an alternate timeline from our current timeline. After the Soviets land a woman on the moon first, instead of how we landed a person on the moon first. Instead in this timeline, the Soviets land a woman on the moon first. President Nixon demands NASA does the same. So this creates the Women's Astronauts Program. And in the program, I'm going to talk about a few of the women astronauts in the show. One of them is Molly Cobb, played by Sonia Walger. She is a blunt trailblazer with a sharp tongue and zero patience for politics. She is a competent, fearless, and refreshingly honest about her own ambition. They want her to be in front of the camera. They want her to be the face of the mission. She's just like, I just want to fly. I just want to get into it. Because in the beginning of the show, I'm not going to like spoil it, but in the beginning, of course, there's a male led space program. They're getting them ready to go to the moon. You know, the space race still happens. They're getting them ready to go to the moon, but something happens to where, and so the women are training as well, but then they tell them they can't go. Like, sorry, no deal. And so they stop training. But then they have to compete with the Soviets. They're like, they got a woman, we need a woman. And so then they start fast tracking all these women who were pilots and who were training in the program before. And Molly was one of the women who were training in the program when it got cut. And so next we have Danielle Poole, played by Chris Marshall, who we also know from Paradise. He is the Quiet
I was gonna
commander.
say, why does she look familiar?
Yes, from Paradise. She is a computer engineer by training, brilliant, methodical, and calm under pressure. So another person who wasn't necessarily an astronaut, like you said, but is trained to go to space. So the show traces her over decades because each season there's a time jump. So it traces her over decades, a decades long journey from candidate to commander, and her personal sacrifices she made along the way. Because she, of course, is a Black woman in a space program. Still, even in alternate timeline, she had her struggles because the timeline ain't that altered. Okay, it's still
Can
the
we have a
same.
timeline where this would not be an issue? For
Nope.
goodness
It
sake.
was like it ain't that different. The only thing that changed was we wasn't first on the moon. But
Exactly.
it did alter some of the things that have to happen, in order for the U.S. to catch up, for NASA to catch up
Hmm.
to the Soviets. So next is Ellen Waverly Wilson. Now Ellen, played by Jodie Balfour, is such a like multi-dimensional character. She is hiding who she really is. I won't say too much, but she's from a
Ooh.
wealthy airline family, and she's a gifted pilot and engineer. But the thing that she's hiding is like so taboo in the 1960s, and so she has to keep it hidden. There's a lot of like scandals. Her story arc is insane over the seasons, but Ellen is one of my favorites. Next is Tracy Stevens, played by Sarah Jones. Now Tracy starts off as a wife of one of the other astronauts. And so when they open it up, NASA opens it up because they need more women to train. After they lose one of their women, they need more women. So they open it up to the public. They're like, anybody who wants to train to be an astronaut, come on in. Tracy comes in because she sees it. Mind you, she's a wife. She's not supposed to be dreaming about being an astronaut. He's the astronaut, not her. But
Hmm.
Mm.
she comes in, and because she already knows how to kind of fly planes, but she's
Okay.
not like a fighter pilot or anything like that.
Yeah.
But so she goes in, she's like, why not? She trains and becomes one of the best that they have. Because turns out she's not just a wife, but of course y'all know her husband ain't taking that well, so her story arc has a
Mm-mm.
lot to do
Not
with
in
that.
that decade.
No, no,
No.
19. This is 1960s, right? So her
Yeah,
story
she's
arc has a
going
lot
and he's
to do with
not.
that. The
Mm.
fact that she's supposed to be at home making the food, not trying to go to the
Interesting. This is
moon.
supposed to be a timeline that's different, and that hasn't changed
It's not
either.
that different. It's not different there either. It's not different there
Mm.
either. It's not different there either. Hey, Roots two for ya, whoever you are.
Hey,
Welcome
Roots
in.
too.
Welcome in. Welcome in. We are so happy to have
And
you
and we
here.
also have Holta Fuller.
Oh,
Also,
welcome in.
Welcome,
So
welcome,
yes.
glad to have
welcome.
you guys here. Welcome, welcome.
Welcome.
So another female astronaut that's portrayed in the show is Kelly Baldwin, played by Cynthia Wu. And Kelly is adopted by one of the NASA astronauts and his wife. I won't spoil that part. But she is adopted by one of them. And so she grows up surrounded by the space program. She's in like the next generation of astronauts after
Got
these
it.
women, trailblaze and show her that she can be an astronaut. Because after you see them, you're like, oh, wait a minute. So I'm a woman. I'm a little girl in school. I see women astronauts. I can grow up and be a woman astronaut because you see
Yes.
it.
Exactly.
It's not just like I'm going to be the first woman astronaut. No, they're already doing it.
She's
This show
surrounded by it.
exactly. She grows up in the thick of it. So she represents, like I said, the next wave of women in space who grew up seeing the female astronauts as normal. And so it was easy for her to imagine a future that maybe her mom couldn't. So like I said, this show has so many diverse female astronauts and other female scientists, that aren't even astronauts, but there's so many different female scientists and things in this show. Like it really is a very diverse cast that is actually, now that I'm thinking about it, mostly women. Mostly women, because even
It's a girl
the other
show.
main characters,
Hey.
like last season, one of the main focuses was just two women. So I think it's mostly women. There are men there too, in case that's your thing, in case you got to see them. They're they there too, but and their characters are excellent as well. But this
Mhm.
show takes you places you don't think you're gonna go. You are in space. You are also on Earth, so they have a lot of their like Earth conflicts. But you are in space. You see the things that are happening. They build
Yeah.
a space station on the moon. That's all I'll say. Okay, things get crazy.
I'm there for
Things
it.
get
I'm there
crazy.
Yeah.
for it.
They go to another planet. I won't say which one. They build a space station there as well. So a lot happens. A lot of technology is advancing, in a sci-fi kind of way because of the alternate timeline. They come up with different things, in order to get to where they want to go faster. Things happen
Yes,
that haven't happened here faster. So they get technology.
absolutely.
Like by the 1980s, they have more technology than we have now because of how things progressed. So
Because
I will
when
say,
women are put in charge, that's what happens. Can we just say that?
yes, you need to watch
Mhm.
this. It is so good. This is on Apple TV. I believe they're in their fourth season now, and they are getting one more season. So it's currently, I believe, in the fourth
Ooh,
season, getting one more season.
nice.
So if you want to wait, you can watch all of them together. But it's really, really good. And I'm just gonna tell you, I wasn't even gonna watch this at first. My mom kind of tricked me into watching it, and then I was hooked. I walked in on her watching. I was like, "What is this?" And she's like, "Oh, for
Mhm.
all mankind." And then I just sat down, and that was
If
it.
Mama Queen says we gotta watch it, we gotta watch it.
Yes,
Yeah, we gotta
yes,
watch it.
yes, yes. But this is
Yes,
this is a good one. This is
absolutely.
a good one.
Absolutely. But Sarah, the Queen of Darkness, well, you have a whole different approach of our female astronauts tonight.
Yes, please.
Are you ready? Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Oh, take it
Oh,
away.
apparently the dog's ready too. So hold on. I got to keep one hand on the
Yes,
dog and one hand on the computer. Okay.
Goodness.
Root
So this.
2 for ya. Yeah, you need to watch it. Tiffany got
Okay.
you hooked with anything you need to watch. So if you got a question, put it in the comment. We got your back. Go ahead, Queen of Darkness.
Okay. This is Jessica Watson. Jessica Andrea Watson is an American NASA astronaut, geologist, aquanaut, and former international rugby player. Jessica Waddy Watkins was born May 14th, 1988 in Gatesburg, Maryland, to Michael and Carolyn Watson. Her family moved to Lafayette, Colorado, where she graduated from Fairview High School in 2006. She earned a bachelor's degree in geological and environmental sciences at Stanford, where she was a member of the rugby team. Watson began playing rugby during her freshman year at Stanford and remained on the team for 4 years. In 2008, during her sophomore year, she was a member of the Division I national championship team. In both 2008 and 2010, she became a member of the Collegiate Rugby All-American team. She is a former American women's national team rugby player for the Sevens and played for the USA Eagles in its third place finish at the 2009 Rugby World Cup. During the World Cup, she was the leading try scorer for the US team. So she's a badass on the ground. She's in space
Mm-hmm.
too, but okay, so after Stanford,
Yes, she
well, yeah,
is.
go ahead. Yeah, after Stanford, Watkins earned her PhD in geology at UCLA. Her graduate research under the supervision of Professor Ann Yin focused on emplacement mechanisms for landslides on Mars and Earth, including the effect of water activity. Prior to her selection as an astronaut candidate, Watkins was a postdoctoral fellow at the California Institute of Technology, where she was an assistant coach for the women's basketball team. She is a busy girl.
Yes, she is.
As an undergraduate, Watson worked at the Ames Research Center in support of the Mars Phoenix lander and prototype Mars drill testing. In 2009, she was chief geologist for the NASA Spaceward Bound Crew 86 at the Mars Desert Research Station. This is all the stuff they were doing to get ready to go to Mars. As a graduate student, she worked at the Jet Propulsion Laboratory on the NEO-WISE project to survey near-Earth asteroids. Watkins also worked on planning for the Mars rover Curiosity. In 2011, Watkins served as a science operations team member for an analog mission. And the analog mission is the mission in the desert. She has served as a planner for the Mars 2020 rover and the Mars sample return missions and was a science team member. I'm getting there. Hold on.
I'm
Was a
sorry.
science.
That
You're
was a
okay.
mistake. Technical difficulty. Sorry.
You're okay. Science team member for a desert research and technology studies analog mission. That's what I was trying to say. Is that they're getting ready for Mars by practicing in the desert. Does that make sense?
Nice. Yes, it does
Um.
because
Okay.
isn't Mars a desert, right?
Yes, it is. Mars is a desert. So it
Mm-hmm.
says, and then she's also, hold on, let me find my place. I lost it. She participated in daily planning of the Mars rover activities and used its image data and combined with orbital data to investigate the stratigraphy, geology, and geomorphology of Mars. She also contributed to the design of the prospective Uranus orbiter Oceanus in 2016. We're almost there, girls.
No, no,
June
it's all good.
June 2017, Watkins was selected as a member of NASA's astronaut group 22 and began her 2-year training in August. So she was a scientist. She trained as an astronaut. In December 2020, she was selected to be part of the Artemis team to return humans to the moon. At the time, 2025 was a target date for the crewed lunar lander mission. Since then, there has been schedule creep to no earlier than 2027. In November 2021, she became the fourth astronaut of Group 22, the first Black woman to be assigned to a long duration mission to the ISS after being chosen as the final member of the SpaceX crew, number 4, which launched in April 2022. It was Watkins' first time in space. She served as a mission specialist for the 6-month mission. Her role involved observing and photographing geological changes on Earth, as well as on other investigations into Earth and space science, biological science, and the effect of long duration on space flight on humans. On June 22nd, this is important, June 9th, 2022, at 7:38 UTC, she became the Black woman with the most time in space, surpassing Stephanie Wilson's 43 days.
Wow.
Okay, this is the last little bit on her, I promise. But this is important. This has just happened like last week, like literally last week. On April 23rd, 2026, last week, NASA announced that Watkins was assigned to fly on SpaceX Crew 13 mission in September 2026 to become
Oh,
part of the
what?
ISS Expedition 7576. She's the
Yes.
commander. She is the
Wow.
commander of the Crew 13
What?
mission. It will be her second mission to the station, as well as becoming NASA's first astronaut to ride on a Crew Dragon twice.
Wow.
What? And a commander holla.
Yes,
She's
Wow.
bringing it.
yes. So I'm sorry it was a little long, but it was all important.
No, you got there. You got there. You got
I
there.
got there.
You got there.
That
Okay, and
is
then
beautiful.
isn't
I
she
love
amazing? I'm
it.
so excited to see her go to. I want her to be one of the ones that lands on Mars, on not just on
Yes.
Mars, but like on the moon, because we have to get
Yeah.
back to the moon before we can get to Mars.
Yes.
Absolutely
That
agree.
that's like it's like
Absolutely
baby
agree.
steps. We got to go to the moon, and then we can go to Mars.
Hmm.
Okay, you can go to the next one.
Hello. Before we do
Oh,
that, let's say hello to one Astrid author who has joined us. Welcome to the Sci-Fi Queens.
Hello.
welcome,
I'm
welcome, welcome.
Yes. Now we're
welcome.
gonna go to our next one that Sarah has for us.
Okay, and this
Talk
is
to us.
Christina. This is Christina Koch. I've done her before. I did her 2 years ago in 2022 or
Mm-hmm.
2024. Jesus, 2022 in 2024. Um, just recently, in April of 2026, she was on the Artemis 2 lunar flyby mission, which set the record for human distance from Earth. Christina Koch became the first woman to travel beyond low orbit and to travel around the moon. So, yay! We did it
Hmm.
again. And during the mission,
Yay.
um, she took. You can go ahead and go to the next one.
Okay.
During the mission, she took this historic photograph called Earthset. This
Nice.
is
That
this
is
is the Earth
beautiful.
setting, and she got that from the dark side of the moon, obviously, because you can see that. The image is reminiscent of the iconic Earthrise image taken by astronaut Bill Anders 58 years earlier at the Apollo 8 crew flight
Wow.
when they flew around the moon. So
Wow.
this is
Wow.
amazing. But not only has someone taken an Earth set from the
Wow.
moon now, but it was a woman, and I
Wow.
was just like,
Yes.
yes.
And look at
Queen.
the
Anyways,
beautiful
It's
artistry of that
gorgeous. It's
picture. It's
gorgeous.
yeah, it's just
absolutely beautiful.
beautiful. Yes,
Hmm.
And it really gives you a perspective of
yeah,
Earth and how very small Earth actually is.
Yeah.
yes. Thank
I
you,
mean,
ladies.
it is it's an amazing views. How
It
can
is.
anyone not want
To
to
leave
be
the
out into
planet.
outer space? I want to be
You
in outer
just be
space.
Tiffany, she's coming
Yes.
for you.
I'm coming for you,
I'm
Tiffany.
not going outer
You
space.
coming. When NASA calls Sci-Fi Queens answers, and we going to outer space.
So I'm getting
We
kidnapped.
going.
Got it.
I'll kidnap you. I will kidnap
So I'm being held hostage. Got it.
Yes,
Got it.
yes,
Yes, got it.
absolutely, absolutely. So I'm gonna bring you guys some books on real astronauts and sci-fi. I put together a list. I have not read all of these books, guys. I'm gonna announce
She's getting there. She's getting
book
there.
book reviews are in a little bit of a hold. I'm taking a class right now, and I'm working on starting the second draft of my novel that I finished, my sci-fi, and I'm actually working on another sci-fi and some short stories. I got a lot of writing going on, so I have had to pause on the book reviews. But I did compile a list of books that people can read to their children, to themselves. You know, parents often read to their children. Why not
Mhm.
read them things that can inspire them, right?
Yes.
And let's talk about some of these books. We have here nonfiction and biographies, right? And of course, you touched on one of them, Tiffany, The Six, The Untold Story of
Mm.
America's First Women Astronaut by Lauren Crush. And it's written by a woman. This acclaimed account follows the first six women selected by NASA in 1978: Sally Ride, Judy Resnick, Anna Fisher, and Kathy Sullivan, Shannon Lucy, and Ray Sedan. I hope I didn't butcher your name. I'm so sorry. As they navigate a sexist media landscape and rigorous training to reach orbit.
Yes.
If you have little girls, why wouldn't you want to read that?
Mhm.
Then we have On a Mission. This is Smithsonian History of U.S. Women Astronauts by Valerie Neal, a comprehensive history spanning 45 years and featuring stories of all 61 women astronauts, including those assigned to the upcoming
Wow.
Artemis mission. Oh, yeah, that's the book to read. And we have Sally Ride, America's First Woman in Space by Lynn
Mhm.
Shear, a definite biography written by an ABC reporter who had an exclusive access to Rice's personal letters and diaries, offering a warm yet unsparing look at her public and private life. Then we have Through the Looking Glass to the Stars by Ellen M. Cohen. Are we noticing a theme of these authors? Yes, they're all women.
Women.
Okay.
Women.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. 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 That's that. I said what I said. And these are the memoirs of the first women to command a space mission, detailing her journey through a child dreaming of flight to leading a shuttle crew.
Mm.
Then we have Mercury 13. These all should be TV shows. Apple, get it together. We know Apple TV watches us, of course.
Of course.
The Mercury 13 by Martha Ackman, the true story of 13 women pilots who in 1961 underwent the same secret medical testing as the Mercury 7 astronaut, but were
What?
untimely from barred from the program
Right.
by NASA and Congress. Yeah, they
Yeah.
would
So
put
that's how
us
they
through
roughly
it.
base the show. The 4 hour
Yeah, I was
Yes,
just say
flight
that
is
sounds
roughly
like your
based.
show.
Yeah, on the
yes.
women astronauts from the book you said, the six. Some of those astronauts are roughly based on those real life astronauts, and then that program that was cut.
Absolutely.
But in that alternate timeline, they brought it back.
Yes.
But they didn't,
Okay.
Absolutely.
you
Now we got some science fiction
know.
because we are sci-fi and we talk about sci-fi. And if you enjoy the what if scenarios typical of your interest in Star Trek, right? These novels featuring compelling female astronaut protagonists The Calculating Star by Mary Robinette Cowell. I hope I didn't butcher your name, Mary. I'm so sorry if I did. Part of the Lady Astronaut series, this alternate history begins with a 1952 meteorite strikes that necessitates a massive space effort. If it follows Elma York, a pilot and mathematician fighting for a seat on a rocket.
Ooh.
We always got to be fighting for that rocket, right?
Mhm.
Then we have The Wanderers by Meg Howry, a novel about three astronauts, including a famed female astronaut named Helen, who spent 17 months in a realistic simulation of a mission to Mars, exploring the psychological toll of deep space travel. Because there is definitely got to be some psychological toll
Mhm.
in
Yes.
space. Okay, then there's Good Morning Midnight by Lily Brooks Dalton, a post-apocalyptic, ooh, my favorite, post-apocalyptic story that follows an aging astronaut in Antarctica and a female astronaut returning from Jupiter, both of whom find themselves isolated after a catastrophic event on Earth. And finally, Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Set in the 1980s, this story follows a professor of physics and astronomy whose lifelong dream of the stars becomes possible when NASA opens the shuttle program to women.
Women.
Yes.
There it is
Yes,
again.
Love it.
absolutely. Absolutely. And and in the theme of black excellence, because we didn't plan for all these beautiful black women astronauts to, we just all kind of came up with these women, right? I want to share a little announcement with you guys. We have this amazing website called the Where Black Indie Stories Get Found. And if you are a black indie author or you like reading books written by black indie authors, go to this website www.theblksshelf.com, short for the black shelf.
Mhm.
There, and if you are an author and you're looking to get known and people to find you, because it's really, as someone who does book reviews, sometimes it's really hard to find books on that are written by people of color. So this is like a central hub that you can go to. There
Mhm.
is a link in there in the form for black indie authors to add their books at the bottom of the landing page, and there's one form to add the author's information, which will create the author page. And there's another form to add the books. You do have to complete both of them in order to successfully add your information. That's the information that was given to me by the lovely, my lovely friend on TikTok. She shared this with us, and I said, "Can I share this on Sci-Fi Queens?" She said yes. Tiffany will be adding it to our website so we can link and you guys can check it out there, because we want to support indie authors, especially
Mhm.
Always.
authors of color,
Yes.
because we need to give them a voice, because
Yes.
it's time that we are heard. Absolutely. Now, before we close, ladies, do you want to say one final thing, something that you experience as doing, because these beautiful ladies do an amazing amount of research for shows. I gotta tell you, they do a lot of research.
I
Okay,
I have one
so
thing.
mhm.
So I wanted to say that back to For All Mankind, I'm gonna beat it till it's dead, guys. Back to that one, they have a spin-off show coming out called Star City. It's coming out actually this month on the 29th. And that show is going to focus more on the Soviet side of the space race and what
Ooh,
their cosmonauts were going through, whereas this one focused
Ooh,
more on the American astronauts. We do see a little
I
bit of
like
the
that.
Russian cosmonauts, right? We see a little bit of them in For All Mankind, and they play major roles in the space stations. So it'll be interesting to see like the opposite side of what they go through with their bureaucracy and all of that stuff. So that's coming out on the 29th on Apple TV. And if you want any more recommendations, like Nita said, I have them. TikTok,
Yeah.
the dot nerd goddess. That's me. And I have all the recommendations there. And I also tell you if it's canceled, if it's renewed, because that seems to be what all people care about these days. Because it's too much.
Exactly.
It's too much out
It's
there.
too
Too much out
much.
there. You can't keep up. You can't keep up. But yeah, so I have all of that.
Absolutely.
That's all.
Yeah. And Sarah, anything you want to say?
No, I'm just excited for what's to come in like with the real astronauts and like
Yes.
I want us to be able to get to the moon and then get to Mars and I want to
Yeah.
see that. I personally maybe don't want to go, but I'd like to see our space program expand.
I knew it. I
Yes.
knew it.
No, NASA, I know you watch us. If you call us, we are all going. Don't worry about what they say up in here. We are all going. Okay.
But look, at this point, the way Earth is going, sure.
We got to
Yeah.
go. We got to go.
At this point, sure. Can I bring my kids at this point?
Yeah.
Sure.
Absolutely. Now, our next show, guys, is going to be really, really special. It is a series we are working on, The Beginner's Guide to Sci-Fi. And that's going to be May 15th at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm going to be bringing you the guide on how to watch Doctor Who. Tiffany will be bringing you how to watch the Lord of the Rings movies and TV show. And Sarah, of course, the Queen of Darkness, Game of Thrones. Why not?
The big task. If anybody
That's
can do
right.
it is
That's right. We're going to help guide you if you are new to sci-fi, guide you on how to watch these classic sci-fi shows. Because a lot of times we want to start from the very first one and it kind of throws us off, right? So we're going to teach you how to watch it so that you get the best enjoyment and learn the most you can about these incredible sci-fi. So join us here May 15th at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Everyone in the chat, you guys are so awesome. Have a great rest of your weekend. Thank you for watching the Sci-Fi Queens, and be sure to support us on all our social medias and check out our website